Oh, that's real good.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the 11:11 podcast. I am Matthew.
I'm Simone.
I'm Donnie.
And we're here actually with another team episode. You know, we always love to be able to kick it as a team and talk about a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing as entrepreneurs. And we're here on an exciting day.
Yes, a very exciting day. As you guys can see, we have some libations in the building because we are celebrating our brother. He has popped the question.
Yes.
So we are going to do a little toast to start us off.
Cheers.
A good cheers. Come on.
All right.
What we cheersing to?
All right. So we're cheering to Black love,
Uh-huh.
to villages,
Yes.
support, progression, and yeah, let's continue to support each other through this road ahead.
Dope.
And man, I know you for a long time. I'm very proud of you. I'm extremely excited for you. Looking forward to this next step.
My brother.
And we always got your back.
Appreciate
Yes,
that.
cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Yes. Oh, this joint good.
It's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we are here today to talk more about just our entrepreneurial journeys, all the things. We are, month 7 months into the year. So I would love for us to take a look back on these past 7 months and just kind of talk about some of the big things that have been happening in our lives and kind of how it's pouring into your entrepreneurial journey, whether that be positive or negative.
Yeah, it's even crazy just to say that, 7 months have passed in this year.
Yeah,
Like in 2023.
yeah.
Because so much has happened in a relatively short amount of time. But I think I saw the other day somebody was like, there's only 4 months left in the year. What are you going to do with it? I was like, there ain't no 4. Oh, snap. It is
It
4 months.
is, yeah. It flew by. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. But as entrepreneurs, I think our lives, because so much happens in a day, one day makes a big difference in what you experience as in your journey. And so the fact that we're 7 months into the year, there's been so many different things professionally, personally, that you go through that by the time you get to this point, you could even look back and you're like, man, what did I do in the first half of the year? And how am I going to adjust that for the second half? What are the things that maybe I could do better, do less of? I know for one, I think it's, we talked about it on other episodes, but just being able to balance your time. Being able to find that balance, it's not going to be a perfect science, but knowing the importance of trying to balance, being better about it, or at least committed to trying to be better about it in the second half of the year and seeing what that looks like.
Yeah. I know for me, the first half of the year was crazy. I lost two people that I was very close to, my grandmother and my aunt, and that just threw me completely off. So moving towards the end of the year, I'm kind of getting back into like my routines, things that I was doing to kind of pour into myself, just mentally and physically, but also pouring into my business, getting back organized and getting back on track. So I feel like you said, resilience is the name of the game. Really grounding yourself and making sure you're getting through those hard times to continue on and really still accomplish those goals that we put back on ourselves in January. So it's been a year, but we are pushing through.
Yeah. No, y'all said it well. I think for me, with resilience, I think about reflection and grace. So I think one, it's for me, I've reflected a lot, and I think the plans you set out and the goals you set out to make at the beginning of the year rarely will it pan out perfectly. So, sometimes, there's a way of like laughing at what you intended to do for the year. So I think it's good to reflect on, okay, what was I set out for? What were those goals? Understanding and giving grace that things will change, but then how do I adjust, power through, and move forward? So I know for me, I look at it like, I have this boot on my foot. So one thing I've definitely reflected on is the importance of being patient, right? I think this was an opportunity for me to sit down for a second and really have some patience and be less particular about things. And I think that's necessary, especially into getting into this fall and winter period. So I think for me, it's just been reflecting on that, but then still powering through. So still making sure that I'm not fully abandoning some of the visions and ideas, and making sure you stay the course as best you can.
100%. And I think you touched on it, but like, what are, we all go through peaks and valleys. It's never going to be just a straight journey. And to be honest, I don't think a lot of us want that. Yes, we don't want struggle consistently, but we don't necessarily just want it to be this even playing, this just straight growth. I think for us, knowing that we have, you have things that happen in your personal life, you losing people. These are tough things that in anyone's life would be difficult to deal with. Physical injuries, being able to make sure that you can stay in it mentally. Would you say are the things that y'all lean on in order to be able to push through? Because I'm sure we all have our different mechanisms. Some people are quiet. Some people need to be around each other. What would you say in your journey has been over the last year, the things that you leaned on?
Yeah, I think I lean a lot on my community, my village. I have a lot of friends, a lot of family, and I think just being surrounded by those people constantly during those times where you're just not feeling yourself
Yeah.
really helps, of course. Leaning on faith, knowing that I have tattooed faith over fear that I always look down on. But really, just kind of having faith to keep pushing. Not every time, not every day is going to be like this. Hard times don't last forever. So really, just keeping that mindset, and then also staying busy. I'm a busybody, as y'all know, so I always have a lot going on. But staying busy helps because you're not just sitting and thinking about what's going on all the time. And then those times really build character. I mean, like I said, the beginning of the year wasn't great, but now towards the end of the year, seeing things turning around and seeing some of the stuff that I wanted to get done. One of the goals that I set out for myself this year was that I wanted to do more speaking engagements, and I've done that.
Good,
And
good.
getting people passing my name along to do more. So that's something that I'm proud of, and that I'm really seeing that okay, everything isn't all bad. Yes, it might start out like this, but the end of the story doesn't have to be how it started.
I love that.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
What about you, D?
Yeah, I think I love how you said the village. So I think for me, it has been leaning on your support system. So I'm someone that I struggle to ask for help, but I've been put in a position where I have to.
Yeah.
So I think that has been a good lesson. But then understanding that that's as you provide and pour in, it's okay to lean on folks, and that can help you drive forward. So I think that I think also falling back into routines, I think, and leaning on routines can be something that could help support you as well. So you know, or finding the right routine and an effective one and keeping it consistent is an evolving thing. But those things that are able to keep you on track, I think, will help you power through. So whether that's waking up at a specific time, exercising at a specific time in the morning, or having laying out your tasks for the week on a Sunday morning, things like that, I think can help you make sure that you're not missing out or dropping the ball in any particular area.
Yeah, I love how you said routine because routine ultimately starts with the mindset. How do you guys renew that mindset when you kind of get thrown off track? What kind of brings you back to center and kind of gets you like, okay, now I set this routine. Let me actually, see it through.
I think for me, it's the big picture.
Yeah.
I've always been someone who was forward thinking and had some kind of idea of where I want to go. And so, even though certain moments it may be difficult to maintain that routine, the days you don't feel like going to the gym, the days you don't feel like getting up early, I think thinking about the big picture and the fact that this small moment and what you do in this small moment, it impacts that future. And so, knowing that I don't want to be in a position where me continuing to fall into maybe bad habits or inconsistencies could be the difference between me getting where I'm trying to go and where I am now. And so, at least for me, I know it's definitely not easy,
Yeah.
but knowing that in the rewards that I've seen from being consistent in certain areas are all I need to know that by being inconsistent, it's not going to get me where I want to go.
Now, with consistencies, do you guys have like accountability partners, or are you just holding yourselves accountable?
Yeah, I think accountability partners are definitely critical. I think um, Matthew's one of mine for me.
Yeah.
In addition to my partner, my wife, as well. I think that has been helpful because you need that at times, right? There might be a moment where you can't just see it. That's why I think even in entrepreneurial ventures, it's very hard to do it all by yourself. That's why you see a lot of the companies that do succeed are ones that have co-founders,
Yeah.
because it's inevitable that at some point you're going to be low and you need someone to be high, and to balance you out. So I think having that accountability partner is key. And if you don't have it, I think there's still ways to develop that to some degree. If it's not someone specifically that you're communicating with frequently, it could even be someone you aspire to be, who's like, okay, if he's up and he's doing that, I need to be doing it too. So accountability is huge. I would agree with that for sure. But you also have to be open-minded and receptive to it. And that comes with a little bit of humility as well. So yeah, but I agree completely with the accountability partner.
Nah, I agree. I agree. It's funny that you said that because, for those of y'all that don't know, on my social media for my real estate business, every morning when I get up, I got my good morning,
morning
winners.
winners.
Good morning, winners. If you don't follow me, $1 Million Winter, you should. But it's funny, you don't realize the impact that you're having on other people as being their accountability partner by you just going through your routine. And it's something that I've learned definitely over the course of this year and my journey in real estate, that you never know who's watching and looking up to you, even while you think you're down or you're not where you want to be. And one of those things is, every day, or at least I try to, my morning routine, trying to start the day off positive and being able to put that out into the atmosphere, into the universe, and telling everybody else, like, yo, we got this. And the amount of people that have commented to me when they see me, like, they'll say good morning with us, and it's like we have a little laugh, but like the amount of people that have said to me, like, yo, I love that you do that because it gets me going in the morning.
Impact, yeah.
And I was like, for real? Theo, he said it to me. He was one of the very first people to ever say it to me. And like that moment clicked, because y'all know Theo, like for him to give that level of emotion, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so maybe I am onto something, that if I could impact that one person, it's helping them to stay accountable to their goals because they see me staying accountable to my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what about y'all in terms of, we're going to be making pivots to be able to level up. But what are the ways that, you saw something wasn't going right in that moment at some point during the year where you're like, all right, I need to like move quickly to be able to, adapt to this situation? Have there been any moments this year where you definitely can look at it like, man, I'm glad that at that moment I said, I'm going to go left instead of going right?
Yeah. I think one for me, might have been just taking I feel like I've taken, well, at the beginning of the year when all that was going on, naturally I took a step back from the business. And just, couldn't focus, creativity shot, all that good stuff. Took a step back and just evaluated, okay, where do I really want to see, where do I really want to take myself? Where do I really want to see growth? And kind of taking off some of the limits that I have had set for myself. And just realizing, life is short. Go after what you want to go for. Really do what you say you're going to do, so you can, see the fruits of your labor. And so I guess it really wasn't something that I was going towards where I had to necessarily, in a way, pivot, but I was, not feeling the creativity, not knowing, what to do, going through the motions, but just not really in it. And so really just taking the time to say, okay, well, what makes me feel like I want to create? Getting back to like turning on music, something simple like turning on music when I'm, ideating an idea, something, or just getting my mood right first to set that standard, and then being able to allow my creativity to open up because I did that pre-work, whatever I needed to do. So I think that was something for me.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think my response to this. I think for me, both entrepreneurial and professionally, I don't know for y'all, but I think it's human nature at times to retreat from the true obstacle in front of you, and you could retreat to where you're comfortable. And at work in particular, there's projects, tasks that I know I have to hit to get the organization to a specific place. And sometimes there's a reluctance to look like that line in the face, if you will, or that challenge in the face, and retreat to where you're comfortable, which for me is, okay, whether it's running numbers, running models, or, doing project management, things like that. But getting rolling your sleeves up and getting a little uncomfortable. So I think for me, one thing I've tried to be more accountable for myself is when there's that work that you've noticed yourself consistently putting off, stare it in the face, roll your sleeves up, make it a priority for whatever week you're going into, and just get into it and get it done. So I think that's been something more recently that I've been doing because it was a reflection and an honesty I had to have with myself, where it's like, all right, I need to get these things done. I can't be playing games no more. So let me just roll my sleeves up and look this thing in the face and get it done. So yeah, I think that's just been, I guess, just that self accountability, if you will, has created some level of traction, and then also just making sure you bookend your weeks well. So for me, I think one thing I've been trying to do lately is, okay, I think about the week ahead, the top of the week or the day before, and then I reflect on the week at the end. And I think by doing those, I think there is the level of satisfaction you can get from saying, okay, I set these things out and I checked them off, can create that kind of positivity going into the next week, that recognition that you need to push forward. But then also it kind of also could keep you on track as well, because with everything going around you, if you don't have any type of system, you might find yourself drifting off and not realizing you didn't progress forward, but you spread yourself too thin. So I think those things, bookending and the weeks and really staring the tough stuff in the face, has been helpful.
Yeah. What would you say has been the thing or things that you learned about yourself this year that maybe you wouldn't have known? You know, we're talking about our ages and different life stages and just progression as people. What is the thing that maybe you didn't even recognize about yourself, or something that you definitely know now that looking back on this year, you're like, man, I really learned that I'm like this or I'm not this? And I could start with me while y'all think, but like for me, I learned that, you know, I learned the value of consistency. We talked about it, but I learned that though sometimes my brain is always going in 1,000 places, like just like we talked about with the proposal and things like that, I learned that if I do put certain systems in place, Donnie's a systems guy, we know that, and I always admired that about him, but I never thought of myself as being able to operate in that way because that was his personality and not necessarily mine. But knowing that, having to be more autonomous in certain ways, knowing that, all right, it's on you. If you want to make this proposal go right, if you want to make this real estate thing go right, you want to make these certain things in your life go right, you're going to have to put these systems in place and be able to stay with them. And I don't think I would have thought I could have done that had I not had to do it. And then now having done it, it's like, okay, maybe you can do that.
Yeah, yeah. It all comes down to like organization, mindset, and like you said, systems, because it's always going to be a million things going on. Life doesn't stop. You got to keep going. You got to keep performing, in a sense. And so I have learned how to get more organized. I've realized that it just can't happen. I can't keep everything in my head. I learned that I need to write things down. And it's just little tactics that I've picked up on to really get me a little bit more organized and get me a little bit closer to the goal. It's kind of like I felt like I have all the tools here, but I'm not taking advantage how I should of like each thing. So it's like some things, like I might think of an idea and I'm like, okay, how can I get this done? But I have all the things to get it done. I just need to tap back into it, like not recreating the wheel type thing. So I've learned to get myself organized. It can't happen without. It's too much going on.
Yeah.
That's really been a helpful thing
real.
for me.
Yeah, I think for me, I tend to move slower than and think and contemplate and strategize too much, and not move quicker. And what I'm learning is that speed is important as well, right? There is a risk of being over methodical, and sometimes perfect is
The enemy of good.
yeah,
something like
perfect as it could be the enemy of good, where you have to kind of do things in a quicker manner. So one thing I've been learning, I ain't there yet, is even just simple emails for me. It can be overthought and take too long, or I'll be like, all right, I want to add these levels to it. I need to do this first, so that way I'm going to push it over, which goes back to staring things in the face.
Yeah.
So I think with the help of things like ChatGPT.
Shout out to
It's
AI.
it's
Shout out to AI.
yeah, it's been able to things like that have been able to support me through where I have opportunities for growth. So I think definitely being self-aware as to where my weaknesses are, I think is something I'm there now, and now trying to make actions upon that. And then also where there's tools, leveraging them to the right way to fill in where you don't maybe have as much strength. So
Nah, I love that. Love that.
I think once you get to the self realization that, everything's not going to go perfect, everything's not going to be this certain way, you start picking up on, like, okay, it might not go this way, but, I can still put together methods to help me get to the goal. And you kind of learn how to pivot quicker, which I think is key for entrepreneurs because, like we said, it's always going to be something going on. And if you don't know how to pivot and kind of make things happen quickly and master the art of quick decision making, you can easily, fall to the wayside. With all that, of course, like you said, comes overthinking, comes anxiety, comes all these things that can kind of get you off center. What are some things that y'all are doing to kind of take care of your mental health, your self care? What does that look like?
That's a great question. I think definitely for me,
And these are black men, y'all, so listen up.
yeah. Nah, look, black mental health matters. That is a thing. And I think regardless of what we've been taught growing up or what we saw,
Yeah.
I feel like now we are in our 30s. Personally, for me, I've noticed more the importance of those types of things, and just like Diane said, being able to be like real with yourself of like what you need. And I know for me, going back to what I was saying about consistency, but even whether it's just the gym and what I eat and put it in my body, like being more consistent with that, I realize that those things, though they are part of my routine, they help me both in my mental health, but also feel good. Because I do live by the quote that like when you feel good, you do good. When you look good, I'm mixing it up, but you get what I'm saying. Making sure, making sure that I do the things that I need to be able to do to feel good, so that I could do the good things that I want to do.
Yeah. I think for me, it's I don't want. I think there could be tendencies at times to withhold and hold things in. So I think for me, it's been just sharing, communicating, not keeping everything in your head, but being able to communicate, express what you got going on, and having that outlet allows you to then get it off your chest so that you could actually have conversation and process it. So I think for me, it's been trying to be more open and communicating and talking about things and identifying things and being more open to share when you're feeling down, stressful, up, wherever it could be, left, right, whatever. But being more open and sharing that out, and that could be a positive step.
Yeah. I have started reading, which has been okay. Not okay. That sounds bad. It makes it seem like I don't read, but I really wasn't I wasn't a big book girl. But now I've like started picking up more fiction books, and that has been really great because it's just a getaway. And it's really great because I'm putting down my phone. I'm intrigued in the book, so like I'm passing time, but also it's just giving me a release where my mind is not thinking about something or trying to strategize something. Something I said the other day, I got like 3 text messages in a row, like, "Hey, give me a call when you have a chance. Hey, when you get whenever you like have downtime, give me a call." And I'm just, it's just like, oh. Right. 1 second.
Throws you
And
off.
so it's just like, give me 1 second. So I have started carving out my little time to like read my book, and that has just been saving grace.
I love that.
Yeah, decompression is real. Like I even on the way here, like I've been able to disconnect from technology. I haven't always struggled with that. So like I've taken hiatuses from social media at periods of time. And then even like when I'm in transit places, I will just like no technology, phones down. Even if I feel vibrations, I'm just looking out of a window. And that alone could help, right? You see, as decompression is critical, especially because you could get so caught up that you find yourself scrolling forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the decompression stuff is real.
Absolutely, and I do think now, we were talking about the beauty of ChatGPT and AI. there's so much technology out there that's helping us to be able to move faster, more agile, but it's also then creating a dependency. And so being able to strike that balance just as human beings, but especially as entrepreneurs, to know that you need to be able to have that disconnection time, that yes, you have something that's going to help you move faster, but you also need to be able to detach from it completely and be able to be with yourself for a little bit. Finding that balance is not easy, but the moments that you get it, you appreciate them more. And I definitely identify with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, y'all. So this seems so quick, but I'm so glad that we were able to come together and do another team episode.
Yes.
We are going to wrap it up with our culture questions. What's crazy is that we have never done a culture question as a team. We always forget to do it. So today we're going to start. Matt.
Oh, I get to go.
Yes. Start us off. Here, we guess we can. One.
Now I'm curious which one I'm going to get. All right. Ooh, who is your favorite new artist? You know what? They're not new in the sense that they're new. They're new to me. I really enjoy listening to my fiance go laugh at me, Dottie go laugh at me too. Central C. Y'all know who Central C is? Oh wow.
Scratch his head.
Wow. Watch, y'all gonna hear and see Central C everywhere, and then you gonna be like, damn, Matt was talking about. But nah, Central C is a UK rapper.
Okay.
He had this song Doja Cat. Wow, come on, y'all. I don't even want to repeat it because it's a little salacious. But,
Why don't we know?
but anyway, he just did a freestyle with Drake.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he's a UK rapper who, I like my UK rap, and he's a new dude who I've been telling people, I'm like, yo, he's gonna blow up here, and the fact that he now has that crossover with Drake, Drake gonna try to push
It's
him.
on and popping now.
So I think I'm surprised at how much I enjoy his music, and look out for him. Central C, when you blow up, remember that it was $1 Million Winter who helped you get there, because I'm promoting you right now. Okay.
What you get?
I got what's your boss up song? So I'm trying to make myself not sound super old here. So
Okay.
my boss up song.
Cool in the gang.
I listen to. So I do listen to. It might even be a song. I tend to sometimes listen to like speeches.
Okay.
So like just good speeches that get more motivation. So it could be a Malcolm X speech, or it could be sometimes it's a podcast. It could be. Yeah, so it could be a different thing. So I would say Boss Up song would be either a speech that I run on replay, or if it has to...
I'm about to say, I don't know if I'm going to let you get away with this.
Yeah.
Everybody has a song that, like, gets them hyped. So
that's
what's
true.
the song?
Then it might have to be Shake the Room, Pop Smoke.
I was
Oh,
about to be some
yeah.
drill.
Yeah, Shake the Room,
That's
Pop
a
Smoke.
good one.
That's way left too, right?
Yeah.
I want to sound old.
yeah. So it's probably Shake the Room, Pop Smoke
Dope.
for a Boss Up song. If it's like, all right, I gotta kill something.
Lit.
But yeah, if day's getting started, I gotta get up. It sometimes is like a speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something kind of motivational.
I love it. All right, I got, what does the culture mean to you? The culture, well, number one, we are the culture.
Yep.
So the culture means community. It means Black folks. It means our dancing, our fashion, just everything that encompasses us as a community and what makes us great. Everything that they try to steal from us. That's culture to me. And I think that, what we're doing right now is culture, pulling together great minds for meaningful conversations, is what culture means to me.
That's a fact. And pushing the culture forward.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
All right, so we've come to another end of the 11:11 podcast. Love this episode. Always love kicking it with y'all and talking about one of our favorite topics. But we got some more exciting episodes on the horizon for y'all. Cannot wait for y'all to see them. But until then, thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next time. Peace.
Take care, y'all.